Hello everyone, welcome to Jolly Molly TV. Today we're going to do another fun block in this adorable project called Christmas Express Train Scene by Embroidery Library. Today we're going to work on block number 3, which is this one right here, which is going to give us a little bit of the train, the smokestack, and the trees with the stars. So let's go ahead and gather all our supplies, fabric, and batting, and let's head over to the machine and let's get started stitching. Okay, we're at the machine. I have a bobbin full of black bobbin thread down below. I have put black thread in the top of my machine. I have my hoop filled with a piece of poly no-show mesh stabilizer, and I put that on my machine. I'm using the slightly smaller than 8-inch design, so I have my 8-inch hoop all ready to go. Let's go to the screen cam and let's load the design. All right, so I'm going to go to my embroidery module. If you're interested, I have a Baby Lock Destiny machine, which is similar or almost identical to the Brother Dream machine. In case you have something similar, you can follow along. I store all of my files on a flash drive. So let's go there, and I have a folder that I've named Christmas Express Train Scene. All right, so now we're working on the third block in this project. And this one's called ESP 83742-1. And if you pull it up, you're going to have a bunch of trees right over here, and then the top parts of the train here with the steam coming out. That's the block we're going to work on. So I'm going to click Set. I don't need to do anything to this, and I'm going to click Embroidery. Now I want to add a basting stitch to the outside of this. And so on this machine, all I have to do is click Edit and look for this little button right here that has a flower on it that looks like it has a basting stitch around it. Click on that and it automatically adds a basting stitch all the way around the outside. And that's what I want. So I click Edit and I am ready to go. So let's go back to the hoop. Now, if your machine doesn't have that, not a problem. Take your hoop off and on your sewing machine, stitch a basting stitch after you've put your batting down and then your fabric down on top of that. That will connect the fabric, the batting, and the stabilizer all together by putting a basting stitch around the outside edge. If you're not able to do it in the hoop, put your batting down, your fabric on top of that, put some pins in it, and then take this stabilizer out of the hoop, take it to your sewing machine, sew your basting stitch, come back, and then re-hoop your stabilizer so that you've got everything ready to go. The basting stitch helps keep the batting and the fabric in place while we do the rest of the stitches, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I've got black thread up on top. I'm going to put the foot down and I'm going to stitch out the basting stitch on my stabilizer. Here we go. Okay, so now I'm going to lay my batting down, making sure I cover all of that stitch line. We'll use it as a placement stitch, all right? Now I'm going to go back to the screen, and I want to go back a stitch. So I'm going to hit the plus and minus button, and I'm going to go back a stitch by hitting this button right here. That automatically brings up that basting stitch one more time, which is what I want. So now I'm going to put the foot down and stitch it out again, and this time it'll tack down the batting. Okay, so now I want you to take the hoop off the machine. Take this over to the table and I want you to trim away all of the excess batting from around all 4 sides here. Use a pair of curved applique scissors so that way when you're trimming it, it won't puncture the stabilizer down below. And when that's done, I'll meet you right back here. Okay, I've got that trimmed up. Now let's go back to the screen cam and we're going to go back a stitch again because I want to stitch that placement line one more time. All right. So now that it's ready to go, I want to put my piece of fabric for my block down on top of this batting, center it, and then you can kind of feel for the edge of the batting. It's like, okay, that feels good, and that feels good, and make sure you got your block approximately centered. Put the foot down. Let's stitch out this basting stitch one more time to tack down this fabric. Okay, and then I'm just going to use a piece of Scotch tape to quickly get all the fuzz, the lint, the batting dust, whatever we want to call it, off of this block so that part won't get stitched into the design. There we go. All right, so now if you look at the screen cam here, it's automatically gone to the very first stitch. So we just click OK and we're ready to start stitching. Okay, so now I want you to get your color change sheet out that you've printed. This is for panel number 3 or block number 3. It has your color changes, step 1 through 13, and then your unique colors down here. But what I want to point out is make sure that you're going left to right with the colors. Color number 1 is blue ink. Color number 2 is Christmas green. Color 3 is light emerald green. Color 4 is blue spruce, etc. You're going left to right, okay? Don't forget that. Make sure that you get your colors in the right order. So the first color that we're going to work on is blue ink, and that is going to be for the ground, all right? So I'm going to take out the black thread that I had up on top. And now I'm going to load my blue ink thread. You've got this, all right? So get your blue ink thread out and load your machine with that. And this is a real quick 1-minute stitch out. It's fairly easy. And you ready to go? No loop. You got this, all right? Again, we want to get our loops out because we don't want to cause any damage to our machine, all right? Let's go ahead and stitch out the ground. Here we go. Okay, that was pretty quick. So now we're going to go to step 2, and step 2 is going to deal with Christmas green. And we have a lot of trees to do in this block. So this is a pretty hefty stitch out. This is a 14-minute in real-time stitch out with Christmas green. So go ahead and load your machine with Christmas green. My bobbin may run out in the middle of this, and if it does, I'll show you how to switch it out and how to restart, okay? So put the foot down when you're ready and enjoy this stitch out. Here we go. Okay, I think that was telling me my bobbin's out. Let's check it out. I cleaned my machine on the bottom, but my sensor's still not working for the one that detects that my bobbin's out. And see, it was out. That's okay. I can just watch it and know approximately when it's gonna empty out. This one's not 100% full, but I'm gonna go ahead and use this one up too. And again, I will just watch for when I think it's gonna run out. Let me put the hoop back on the machine first. And then I'm gonna clean up this little area where it started to stitch. Okay. And this will be fairly easy to move back to. All right, so if we go to the screen cam. All right, I know that it moved to this area right here. So if I go to the plus and minus, and I go back a few, I go back 10. Okay, and then go back a few where I can see it start the stitch in that area. Right, oh, one too far. There we go. That's where I'm going to pick up. And I click OK. And it literally went back right where it began to stitch that area. So we should be good. So let's put the foot down. We're good. We don't have a loop. And let's continue stitching. We did step 2, and that was a big one with the tree. So now we're going to do step 3, which is going to give me some accents on those same trees. This is step 3, light emerald green. Okay, so let's put that thread on the top of our machine. And then this one's going to do a whole bunch of shading on those trees. So about another 8 minutes of stitching. And I think our trees will be pretty much done. Yeah. Did a lot of stitching. Okay, we got a loop. Let's get that loop out. There we go. And let's put the foot down and enjoy the stitch out. Here we go. Oh, I got fuzz. All right, you're like, what? Yeah, when it gets, wait till it's done before I put my finger in there. It gets like a friction pull and it starts to fuzz the thread. That's when I say, I've got fuzz. So the trick with that is take and cut this off the top. Then you're going to pull this like you do all the other time when you pull your thread out. You're going to pull straight towards you. And then I'm going to trim the stitches down below. And see, look at that. It kind of was shredding up on the top. So that means you cut it out. I can take a look at what's down there. Take it off the machine ever so gently. And I'm just going to pull up the few threads that it did down here that are kind of fuzzy. So I can just pull them right out. Because we don't want that look. It would probably be okay because they're trees. And these stitches are fine. These are regular stitches there. So I can just cut those out a little bit more. Okay. Then I'm going to try to get some of the fuzz off. There we go. Okay. I can leave that part in because those are the start of the stitches. All right. So I'm going to rethread the upper part of my machine with that light emerald green. Just like so. Before I do that, let me put the hoop back on. And thread the needle. Okay. Get that loop out. Let's put the foot up. Get that loop out. Okay, so now we need to go back a few stitches. Okay. So I want to go to the start It landed right about over here. So I want to start where it starts the stitches. So I'm just going to go back one at a time. I'm holding the button down. Okay, that's where, okay, one too many. Okay, that's where it's starting this section right here. If you can see it on my screen, it's right there. Click OK. That's where I want to be. And now we can start stitching this area over again. See, you can always recover from a mistake like this. All right. Okay, nice looking green trees. Okay, now we're on step 4, which is going to be blue spruce, which means we're going to do some steam accents. I think on the part where the steam comes out of the train. So that's going to be fun. Those are nice trees. Very cool. A lot of stitches, and you did it. All right. So let's load blue spruce, step number 4. And this is a 2-minute stitch out. Here we go. Okay, now we're going to go to step 5, which is royal blue, which is going to do some more accents on top of that steam that we just stitched out. Oops. Make sure I get my spool on the holder there. There we go. And this is a 1-minute stitch out. You've got this. Make sure there's no loops. All right, let's stitch out some more steam detail. Royal blue. Okay, so now we're on step 6. And what is step 6? blue jay. We're going to do some more accents on the steam and a little bit on the ground at the top part of the block. So put your blue jay thread in the top of your machine. And this is a 1 minute stitch out. To make sure we don't have any loops. We're good. Let's do it. Okay, we're moving right along. Now we're on step 7, which is twister, kind of a medium dark silver. All right, and this is going to be the train. We're going to work on the body of the train. All right, so load your machine with twister. This is a 2-minute stitch out. And we got a loop, get that out. All right, let's do it. Doing great. Okay, now we're on to step 8, which is barn red, which in my case is that true Christmas red, because we're going to do a part of the train. So put your barn red thread equivalent in the top of your machine. This is a 2-minute in real life stitch out. We're going to do train detail and the edge of the chimney. You ready? Let's do it. Now we're going to switch out for step 9 and we're going to go to the cinnamon candy red thread, which is going to do some accents or some edging on that red accent on the train that we just did. All right, so it's going to do some, looks like some outline or edges. All right, we don't have a loop. We're ready to go. 1 minute stitch out. Let's do it. That wasn't so bad, was it? Okay, now we're going to do root beer. I'm going to get this little piece of thread off here. There's one more up here. I want to get, before we start. All right, so let's go step 10, which is root beer, which is going to be the train window. You're almost done. You realize you only have, let's see, 4 more to go. 4 more color changes. You got this. Oops, I got to take the old red thread out first before I put the root beer in. Huh. Yeah, I do that every once in a while. I get so excited I forget to take the old thread out. All right, we have a loop. So let's get that loop out. There we go. So let's stitch out the train window. It's a 1 minute stitch out. Here we go. All right, now we're on step 11, which is polished pewter, which is going to do a little bit of an accent here on the chimney. Looks like it's probably going to be under 1 minute. It's just one little section here. So let's load that up. In your machine, polished pewter thread. And let's do this. You're so close. You got this. Ooh, get the loop out. All right, here we go. Okay, now we're on step 12, which is old gold, and we're going to use it for the window, the train highlights, and some stars. And I've got mine here on the back of my machine. So you put your old gold thread in the top of your machine, and we're going to stitch this out. This is about a 3-minute stitch out. Again, it's going to do the window, the train highlights, and some stars after I get my loop out. Here we go. Enjoy. Aha, my bobbin ran out, and literally I just got one out in preparation for the next stitch out because I knew I was running low, but my sensor worked. So yeehaw. Okay. Yeah, my sensor worked. Nope, that's it. One little thread right there. That's all that's left. Okay. So I literally just got this out because I wanted to make sure that when we get to the white thread, which is the next step, that I had a full bobbin in there because it's a big stitch out. So we are good. Okay, now let's go to the screen cam. And look, it's almost empty. Hit return. And then I'm going to do the plus and minus key. And I'm just going to go back 10 stitches. That's more than enough to lock in and to continue on where we left off, which is only going to be a couple stitches, I bet. Here we go. Foot down, and let's continue on if it's not even 10 stitches. A little bit more because it's got to do the center of the star. Okay, we're good. Okay, now it's done. Woohoo! All right, now we're on to the favorite part where we are going to watch this block come to life. Always make sure you get your thread that you have on the back of the machine way away from the machine so that it doesn't get caught up in the spool or your what do you want to call it? The handle that's on the right side that spins while you stitch. You don't want any threads over there because any threads will get caught up in that, and then you got to take your machine to the doctor, which we don't want to do unless we have to. All right, so now we're on step 13. Load your super white thread in the top of your machine. And this is where the magic on this block happens. Now you're going to watch this come to life. It's a 24-minute stitch out. Just sit back and relax and enjoy. You ready? Let's do it. Isn't this amazing? Whoops. There we go. Congratulations. You did it. I love the way that this project is coming out. It's so cool. I absolutely love this. Okay, so I want you to take the hoop off the machine, take the block out of the hoop and just set it aside and look at it. What we're going to do is we're going to stitch the rest of the blocks first. Then I'm going to show you how to trim all of the blocks up, finish them up, depending on what type of finishing that you want to do for this project. I'll show you different options. So just set this aside and then we'll come back and we'll do another block. All right. So I hope you had as much fun today making this block as I did. Please stay tuned here on Jolly Molly TV for more fun blocks in this amazing project, Christmas Express Train Scene by Embroidery Library. And until I see you in the next video, take care and happy stitching. Bye-bye.